program history, and now he's taken over an Auburn program he's very familiar with. And when I asked Armstrong why he'd choose to restart after such success and why on the Plains, he joked about loving a challenge, and then he said, Auburn means so much to my family and I really believe this is a place where we can win championships.
All right, Laurel, looking forward to hearing your reports all night long, and away we go. You've got Auburn in the dark blue uniforms. They are attacking from right to left on your screen. Kind of a warm night, temperature 88 degrees.
It's good to get back up and running though, Will, it really is. Samantha Martinez has got this game tonight, center official. And what we've seen, Will, over the last offside call. What we've seen over the last few games is Ole Miss coming out of the blocks really quickly. We'll see how that works out tonight.
Ole Miss, of course, under the leadership of Molly Rouse. There you see Molly in her third season here at Ole Miss. Former head coach there at Utah Tech. Assistant, a couple Big Ten schools, Minnesota and Iowa, along with Buffalo. And when she was at Utah Tech, she helped lead that transition from D2 to D1. No easy assignment. Ole Miss trying to make something happen.
And I think that's where Ole Miss can really start to make life difficult for Auburn tonight. And that is if, as we saw right there.
There's a shot just wide on Yapo. That was Marn, Brooklyn Marn, the freshman. She had the game-winning goal against Louisiana last time out in the 65th minute.
Yeah, I had to break there because things are moving so quickly. And really and truly, that is a chance missed. That if that come to 20 minutes into the game, she would have probably buried it. But it's so early. Nerve endings are jangling a little bit, probably.
That's Blinko right there, number 15.
Yeah, but I was going to say, if Ole Miss can keep Auburn contained, if they can close them down, if they can make it difficult for them, close down the gaps, don't give them any time on the ball, they're going to have to work very hard to keep this Auburn team quiet tonight.
That's Olivia Woodson, number 22. She scored a goal in last year's Auburn 3-0 win. It was scoreless at half. Down on the Plains, there's the first shot, just wide of Bilovich, who is not feeling 100% here tonight, but gets the start, the senior out of Portland, Oregon. There you see that, boy, how about the high-level experience Molly Rouse was talking about, how much she has had, transfer from Texas Tech.
That's right, she's had a good season so far, and what we saw right there was frightening for Ole Miss in terms of number 26, Flurry, moving on the ball, almost got a shot off, won a corner.
Yeah, Bilovich, one of the seniors that was honored just before we went on the air. Here's what's at stake tonight. Auburn looking for their first win in Oxford in 14 years. They're 0-2-3 since 2011. And then for Ole Miss, the longest active win streak in the SEC. Right now it's 4 and counting. And of course, it's the first night of league play, so that's always, you always want to start conference play with a victory as well. And we're going to have another corner kick coming up.
So far, though, Ole Miss sort of pressed back into their own 6-yard area, 2 corner kicks in succession. Defense looking solid after the first 2, dealt with them well. A lot of space near that 6-yard area.
Grace Ivy with the assignment there on that corner kick. Ole Miss clears, and Auburn will reset out by midfield. That's Sydney Torres. Check that. That was Aaron Houston. And there's Bilovich. That brings the Ole Miss fans to their feet.
Yeah, and that's a good sign for Ole Miss, because what's happened is that Bilovich is in the game early. Here comes the shot. Side-footed, but nevertheless, there's a fair bit of pace behind that ball. Bilovich comes out, she grabs it 2 hands. She's now had a feel for the ball several times now. Not true from the other goalkeeper at the other end. Nothing in the 6-yard area apart from the shot that went wide earlier. But goalkeepers like to get the hands on the ball early, get a feel for the way the ball's flying, the moisture, if there is any, coming off this field. Not sure if it was watered much before the kickoff. Probably was.
Grace Ivy, by the way, the junior midfielder, did take that shot on Obilovic. 1 assist this season. She has started every match.
And she is also dangerous.
Yes.
As we know.
There's quite a few that fall into that category for these Auburn Tigers. We talked about it earlier. No real weak link.
No, there's not. And there's Erin Flurry again. She brought that ball down. She was trying to chest it down. It came out of too high. She brought it down on her chin and still managed to control the ball. So there's a lot of talent. She is such a talented player.
There you see Auburn already 16 goals, 49 points compared to Ole Miss's 15, and Auburn with 10 players with 2+ points. They got it inside the box, and that is Ivy.
And there's the first one.
Yes, Grace Ivy, the transfer from Texas A&M, finds the back of the net, and Auburn takes the early lead.
Superb strike. There's nothing Obilovic could have done with that. You can see the disappointment on her face, but absolutely nothing she could do. Ivy found some space. She made it, pushed it to her right, unloaded with her right foot, and the ball just shot like an arrow into the top left-hand corner.
Ivy scored 4 goals and had an assist as a sophomore at A&M. And there you see Ivy, 7 minutes in. And the Tigers take the early advantage over the Rebels. Auburn last time out scored 5 goals. They got 16, as you saw, on the season.
And I think immediately, we're not even 10 minutes in, and now it's a question of heads up for Ole Miss, recover, fight back. It's a blow, but let's recover from it. Let's get organized again. Let's try and get an equalizer as quickly as possible.
That's Jordan Crosby, number 31. A little give and go with Driver, the redshirt junior from Macon, Georgia. Knocked out of bounds, and
corner kick.
We'll have yet another corner kick.
And there's the problem for Ole Miss, unfortunately. And for soccer, it's great to see, because what we're looking at in this Auburn team are amazingly talented players. It can be Driver, it can be Flurry, it can be Ivy, and there are more coming from the midfield with talented players that can score goals.
This is Hayden Colson, senior from Denton, Texas. I'm going to try to get the header by Driver, who, by the way, got an assist on that goal by Ivy. So we were just talking about Ivy have been 1 assist this season, starting every match. She gets the goal. And now Driver, who is now, I guess now leading the SEC in assists with 6. She came in tied for first with 5. Also with those assists coming in, she was ranked 7th and 12th nationally in those categories of assists and assists per game. So she adds to her total 7 minutes into tonight's match. There'll be some physicality out there, don't you expect, Ian?
I certainly do. And I'm listening for something else too. I'm listening for voices from the field to try to see who's taking charge of this game, whether it's white shirts, whether it's blue shirts, just from a talking standpoint. Because that's where the leadership is. The referee's doing so far so good. She's catching the little niggly, they're just niggly fouls in the middle of the field. She's on top of it. But I'm trying to see who's leading, and you may find that a lot of the sound's coming from number 26, because as well as having the energy and the skill, she's also got the attitude and the leadership attitude, and she's wanting her players to work hard and to keep the heads up and keep motivated and keep moving and keep working. And that's the other thing that Ole Miss has got to do. It's equally, they've got to match that, and just through sheer hard work.
No problem for Yapo. Ayana Yapo, redshirt freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. And We'll take a closer look at Yapo. Boy, you talk about someone that's disciplined. She's in the ROTC, and I don't want to give away too much of the story by Laurel. Here's Fleury. 7 goals, looking for number 8. Inside the box, well defended though.
That was a stumble, the referee said, but she still gets loose.
Yeah, got around 10 brink. Ramsden did come in there to try to help. Here's Fleury with the left foot.
Straight offside.
Offside.
Yep.
Auburn.
So from Ole Miss, back to how do they manage this storm? Because instead of them coming out strong in the first 5 or 10 minutes, it's Auburn that's come out strong in the first and then got a goal to the good. So rely on your basics. You know about don't let the ball bounce in the penalty area. Cardinal sin. Get to it before it bounces. Get it wide. Remember the sheepdog theory. Push your sheep wide. Don't give that sheep 2 chances. Don't let them come in or out. Force them wide. Force them to where they can't do any harm. Working on those basics.
Colson on the far side approaching the box. The center. And a near header for a goal by Fleury. And
that was an amazing save, Will.
How about that stop?
What a save. Abilivich came from nowhere. Fleury was just heading that ball into the empty net, and all of a sudden there was an red blur came across. Great save.
Well, Bilovich had 3 saves in that shutout in the last match for Ole Miss, that 1-0 win against Louisiana. Leads the team with 435 minutes played. And it'll be Auburn. Let's look at this shot that almost put Auburn up 2-0.
I don't know where Bilovich came from. I mean, it was a great save.
Yeah, that's top shelf. That's dynamic. And it keeps it 1-0.
Yes, that's right. And there's a huge psychological difference between 1-0 and 2-0.
Yeah, especially 12 minutes into the match.
Exactly, yes.
You talk about grabbing some serious momentum. Of course, this field here at Ole Miss, it is a huge field. Lots of space out here. Seems a little bit bigger than most, but that could just be me.
And as you know, they can be different size fields, a little bit like baseball, but not quite with the variety of stands and layouts that baseball stadia have. But yeah, you can have a field. FIFA regulations will tell you that your field can be within 110, 120 yards long and 70 or 80 yards wide. So if you've got both of those at their largest dimension, you've got a big field.
This is Ivy who had the goal. Nice double team there by the Ole Miss defense.
I think when players show up at a field, Will, one of the things they look for immediately as soon as they get off the bus, if it's not their field, is how wide it is from the penalty area line to the throw-in line. And this, you can see there's a huge amount of space between those 2 lines. That shows you it's a big playing surface.
Here's that goal by Grace Ivy. 7 minutes into tonight's match.
Great pass to her. All she had to do was just tee it up for herself. Just one touch to control it. Second touch buries it in the top left-hand corner. It's a great strike.
Ole Miss trying to answer. About 13 and a half minutes into tonight's match. That goal by Auburn is kind of a rarity. I mean, Ole Miss came in with 3 straight shutouts. Here's Fleury. Beyond dangerous, and I'll tell you what, Coach, he couldn't say enough nice things about her. James Armstrong, like so many big fans of Fleury. Old school he was talking about.
Well, he's
blue collar.
He's thrilled to have her. Yeah, a scrapper, I think we said, didn't we? Yes, she is a scrapper.
Gives 100%, and she's a leader, and she doesn't mind getting on her teammates if they're not holding up their end of the deal.
And I think that what goes along with that is that she doesn't mind people criticizing her if she isn't doing her job at whatever time and whatever place. which is really teamwork, isn't it? I mean,
It really is.
That's what it's about.
There you see Fleury. And let's go down to Laurel with more.
Well, Erin Fleury, she is a very special player for this Auburn team, but they almost didn't get her. So she played at Syracuse, obviously, for 4 seasons. She got in the portal. She looked at Auburn and said, no, I'll go to Florida State. She was there for all spring practices, and then she knew Kelly Madsen, the assistant coach here. Madsen had coached her while she was at Syracuse, and then decided, you know what, I really like this Auburn program, what they're selling, what Armstrong's going to try to do with this place. And eventually Auburn ended up landing her, and it has certainly worked out for them.
Boy, that is for sure. So a prior relationship helps out. It's all about networking, I guess, and obviously it was a big get for Auburn.
The whole portal thing, I think, it's focusing somewhat on the European model where players transfer at will almost and move, and there's huge amounts of money involved, of course, which we don't see here and probably wouldn't expect to at the moment, at least. But players really are looking and taking their ideas of where do I want to be next season. And when you come off a 10-0 record at Mississippi State, I mean, that looks like, I think I might go and play under that coach because that person's successful. I like successful people, so here she is.
Yeah, what Armstrong did at Mississippi State is beyond remarkable. And there you see Coach. We enjoyed visiting with him on their drive up on the bus yesterday from Auburn to Oxford. And we talk about Fleury and what she can do on the field, but he also mentioned she's the loudest on the bus.
Yeah, that was a clue to me that she's probably the loudest on the field as well, which is that's why she's the coach's ideal package, really, because she seems to have everything. The only thing she doesn't have is she's not a towering aerial threat, but she's got everything else.
Yeah, she stands 5'4", first ever Auburn player from the state of New Hampshire. As Laurel said, came to Auburn from Florida State, a very short stay after a nice career up at Syracuse. All right, let's see what Auburn's going to try to do here. They're looking for a driver. Dillon, who had an assist on the first goal, was looking for Ivy again. That was the combo that gave Auburn the early edge. This is Crosby. And you can see it always comes back to Fleury. Ole Miss nicely defended inside the box.
Yeah, they're holding strong so far. It's the one goal that flew in the net, but I don't want to jinx it, but they've been holding pretty steady.
There's Ivy again. Again, it's Obilovich.
So what we're seeing, Will, is that Auburn's trying to get in close. They're trying to get into the penalty area. They're trying to get between the 18-yard line and the 6-yard line, maybe get some tap-ins. But they're not afraid to shoot from distance. And there's the second one. Ivy, I mean, she's done 2 or 3 like that from distance, and she's been successful. 1 out of 3 is not bad.
No. She's given up just 5 goals this season, including the one here tonight. There you see the shots. Boy, it's all on Auburn's side. It's a huge discrepancy already, 7-1, including 4-0 on shots on goal.
And they wind back to 1.5 minutes into the game.
Yep.
And the shot went wide, and it might have found its way into the Auburn net, and it could have been so different.
Talking about Brooklyn Marn.
Yes.
The freshman from Kansas came in second on the team with 2 goals. Ramsden leads the way for Ole Miss in goals, points, and shots. 3 goals, 6 points, 13 shots.
And for somebody of Katie Ramsden's experience coming through the Manchester City program, she's been quiet tonight so far. I haven't really looked closely enough to find out whether that's because she's got 2 players on her and they're keeping her quiet on purpose, or if she just hasn't got into the game yet.
I think it's a point of emphasis for that Auburn defense. This is Jordan Crosby. The cross. A rebel down on the field, and Samantha Martinez, our center referee, makes the call.
Yeah, it's a good call. And there was the ball coming in. You got a centre half coming. She's got her eye on the ball. She's trying to clear her lines. And then you got the Auburn player comes in and clatters right through her. The referee's right on the spot. No choice but to give the free kick. And I'm glad to see nobody was hurt, because it could have been that could have been a serious collision.
Ole Miss last year 0-9-1 in the SEC, so they're going to try to get a win here, something they were not able to do a year ago when they finished 5-13-1. That was Molly Rouse's second year here in Oxford.
I think we should make note of that, actually, that Erin Flurry just made a mistake.
Yep. And when you look at the season, they lost at Memphis. That was a terrific match. And as I mentioned, 4-game win streak coming in, all 3 of the straight shutouts, and then all of the games decided by 1 goal, Ian.
Yes.
And
that's
that
the
is
difference.
A slim margin of...
That's the difference, isn't it, between Auburn's season and Ole Miss's season. But coaches will tell you, well, we still got 3 points, but it wasn't quite as emphatic as some of the wins that Auburn have had.
No. That's for sure. 5-0 last time out against Florida Gulf Coast. They had a 6-0 win earlier against Kennesaw State, 3-0 against Southern Miss.
Yeah.
It's a team Ole Miss beat 1-0. And when you look back at this season so far for Auburn through 7 matches, this, of course, the 8th, they come in 4-2-1. All their wins have come on shutouts. 3 games with 3+ goals. Wow. Ole Miss coming in just with 4 players that have found the back of the net. Ramsden, Marn, Blinko, and Ewing. Here come the Tigers. Oh, Bilovich, no problem. There's that drum line. Ole Miss drum line here tonight. Of course, when we get the camera on them, they stop. I'm not sure
That's the way it goes, isn't it?
We'll get them playing. We got them earlier. There's Jordan Crosby. We talked about her, one of the forwards, 5'6" junior out of Alpharetta, Georgia. See if Ole Miss can get something going. We're about halfway through tonight's first half. And with the temperature at 88 degrees at game time, I guess no heat timeouts.
No, not tonight. And, of course, now the sun's gone down and maybe things are cooling just a little bit, which is obviously better for the players.
Mm-hmm.
Better for the spectators, too, because the game is faster. And this game's got off to a pretty quick pace, and it's stayed that way halfway through the first half.
It's been dominated so far by Auburn. Boy, good effort there by Crosby. You mentioned about the 7 shots and 4 of them on goal. Ole Miss still with just that 1 shot that we saw from Marn. There's a good look at Marika Ten Brink out of Folsom, California, the transfer from UC Riverside.
And so here's where Coach Rouse's strategy earlier on in the season, she's going to hope it pays off, because all of the players that have been subbed out and subbed in, the ones that are on the field now, have already got first team experience and match experience this season. So they're seasoned, they know what it's like on game night. And what Coach Rouse is going to hope now is that they don't, the quality of Ole Miss play doesn't drop off a cliff. And I doubt if it will, actually.
Diaz came in, Peyton Diaz, you saw her throw it in just a few moments ago. Number 16, a defender out of Louisville, Texas. She also was a transfer from Texas Tech, just like Obilovich.
Ole Miss get their first corner of the night.
First one of the night. Auburn with 4 already.
So what we said earlier was number 15, Tate Blinko. She's been good in both boxes, in both penalty areas. Number 15 right on the 6-yard line, center of the box. Straight to the keeper.
Yep.
Nothing doing there.
Yapo taking care of it, the redshirt freshman, 5'8", out of Phoenix. Ayana, I should say. There you see. Let's go downstairs to Laurel. She's got more on Yapo.
Will, you already mentioned that she is a part of Auburn's Air Force ROTC, and it was actually very interesting since yesterday being 9/11, Armstrong excited to talk about her and what she has done. So every year the ROTC climbs the stairs in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Obviously, Yapo was not able to do that yesterday with the game coming up, but she supported her fellow ROTC members, and Coach said she has a crazy schedule, has to be so diligent with her time, her nutrition, and he said she's got a ton on her plate, but you would never know. She never complains, never asks to be treated any differently, and he has a ton of respect for her, and I certainly think most people do.
Yeah, I know I do, and I know you do as well, Ian. I mean, it's just remarkable. I mean, getting up at 5 a.m., just think about all the responsibilities. First of all, being a student. Now you're goalkeeper on the soccer team, and oh, by the way, we got ROTC in the morning at 5.
I try not to think about my college days when you put that discipline, that self-discipline right out there.
Well, you better have time management skills. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I suppose I should say I was in architecture school and played semi-professionally at the same time.
See? You're right there.
It's not easy.
Banner and Yapo.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't in the I wasn't up at 5 o'clock on getting into airplanes, that's for sure. I'm just trying to find the coffee shop.
There you go. We got to talk about all this. I mean, a lot of folks from England involved in this match tonight. And I know with Leeds, that's kind of important when we start talking about these players and coaches.
I think it's a Leeds invasion tonight. I'm looking out of the window here, and there's a shirt right on the crowd right in front of us with Patrick Bamford on it, which is he's a Leeds United player. That's not Patrick Bamford wearing it, I don't think, but anyway. But so Bamford is here, and James Armstrong is from a village just outside Leeds. You've got Katie Ramsden from 25, 28 miles away. It's a Yorkshire takeover.
How about that? And I did. That was one of the assignments, folks, I gave Ian. I said, I need to know how far that is. And you said, was it 28 miles?
28.1 miles.
28.1. Okay. A little geography here in the first half of this SEC opener between Auburn and Ole Miss. Hayden Colson plays the midfield as well as the defender with the kick, and now.
And just before we close on that, though,
yes.
Well, James Armstrong's village is in an area of extremely outstanding natural beauty, and one of those little Yorkshire Dales villages. And I think most people would say, even people from Leeds, that Leeds is not not England's most attractive city, but Yorkshire's got some beautiful areas.
Grace Ivey was unloading on another shot, but was denied on the block. Nice block at Ole Miss defense. That's something that Molly Rouse has been really proud of. Has the play for Obilovich as well, again showing off her skill set.
Yeah, she came out and got that one. If you're going to come and punch, you've got to make contact, and she did. And that's what we said earlier. When a ball comes into the penalty area, it's got to be dealt with as soon as possible.
Ramsden was trying to get something started for Ole Miss, but here are the Rebels. Trio, I should say. Yuritsa out of Memphis, transfer from Northwest Mississippi Community College. Here's Ramsden. She's got 3 goals to lead the team.
Nice ball into the middle.
Sure is, and the shot is going to find the back of the net. A goal, and Ole Miss has tied it at 1.
Katie Ramsden normally raids down the left-hand side. This time she comes down the right. When she crossed that ball, we'll see it on the replay, it bent away from the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper found herself in 2 minds. She didn't know whether to come or not. Here comes the cross. It's bending away. She comes, then she hesitates. Just enough to get a touch in. The ball makes it into the back of the net. It doesn't matter how hard it gets into the back of the net as long as it gets into the back of the net.
And that's the senior Kate Smith out of Gulfport that scores the goal for the Rebels on a special night, no doubt.
Great to see her take that ball, get a toe on the end of it just to get it into the goal. Great to see Ramsden coming down the opposite flank. And I think to see her changing flanks confuses defenders because they don't know whether she's coming down the left or the right. And to put in a right-footed cross like that, moving away from the keeper, was priceless. A great equalizer for Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ramsden now leaves, and Ewing in now. But Kate Smith with that goal, and you're right, that cross by Ramsden, it had some sauce on it.
It did, it bent beautifully. Now, is that the question of poking the bear? Let's see if Ole Miss can settle back into that defensive formation that they've had so far, which has been, apart from the one that got away, that finished up in the top corner, they've been very solid at the back so far. See if they can keep it up.
Well, one goal was enough for Ole Miss the last 3 matches. They won 1-0 against Southern Miss, UT Martin, and Louisiana. Obviously, they're going to have to score more than 1 tonight to get the victory. They've done that twice this year. They lost 3-2 to Memphis in the opener, and then they beat UAB in the second game of the year, 2-1.
And importantly, remember we talked about believing in yourself, doing the basics. Now they can add to that they can indeed break down this Auburn defense and score goals.
Here's Fleury again. Boy, she's everywhere on left side, right side. Got upended as she approached the box.
Goalkeeper and the assistant referee were looking at where that toe came in, and it took the ball first. Must have got a touch off Fleury then, because the ball went out for a goal kick.
Fleury looking for some help. That was Cassidy Keeney, the junior from Chamblee, Georgia, defending her. Keeney, third on the team, coming in minutes played with 314. Hayden Colson.
That's okay. It was a hard tackle, but it was all ball. Yeah.
Peyton Diaz.
I think the crowd was shocked at the force of the tackle. And it was a strong tackle, but it was a ball-only tackle. And that's worth mentioning, Will, that the game's been very competitive tonight. We knew it would be, but it's been fair.
Yes. No
shirt pulling, no kicking off the ball, nothing silly. And so far, so good. It's very, very competitive, but very fair.
Bilovic with the goal kick. Sends one high into the Oxford evening. Here's Ursig.
Nice ball, too, over the top.
Far side. In the box. Colson defending. Yapo.
Yeah. She needed some help in the end out there on her own.
Check that. That was Houston defending. Aaron Houston, number 28. Get on that far side, 28 and 20. Beg your pardon on that. That's Houston again. And Ole Miss with a header into the box.
Well, I've not been able to get any answers from anybody from the refereeing side of things, and it's on me to find out. It's not for people to tell me, but I don't think that the NCAA has sent the message to the goalkeepers and to the coaches about speeding up this. There's a 6-second rule of holding the ball. You've got to release the ball. That rule has rarely been used by referees until this season. And in the Premier League, it's now moved to 8 seconds, but they have to release the ball, and referees have been very firm about it. I don't see it. I don't see anything changing here. We'll watch that as the game progresses.
Okay, keep our eye out for that. That's Driver, 16 for Auburn. And by the way, Fleury has left the field. Ava Caldwell, the substitution for Aaron Fleury.
There's another phenomenal save from Abilovic. Now, I'll tell you what happened there. If we get to see the replay, the goalkeeper was unsighted as that ball was struck. She got down there. He went through the legs, There it goes. She's unsighted. She can't see what's there. It goes. Sees it late. Gets down to her left. Claws it away and puts it out for a corner. Great save.
That left hand.
Actually got deflection off of her defender.
Another corner kick for Auburn. Already 9 shots, 5 of them on goal for Auburn. They'd love to have another shot on goal here. Not going to happen. That's Keeney again. Kate Smith was looking for a call.
Wise decision from the referee. That was a clip from behind. Interestingly enough, there's no danger. I mean, Ole Miss are out there on their own. One player coming up, nobody with her. And we give away a free kick, which is probably not the wisest thing to do, but referee was right on top of it. She's had a good half so far.
You saw James Armstrong on that Auburn sideline replacing Karen Hoppa, who retired. Been a seamless transition, though, for Armstrong from life in Starkville at Mississippi State the last 6 years, and his first year down on the Plains. He's got 13 new players.
And
a little give and go by the Tigers. Approaching 10 minutes left in the first half.
That's a great ball wide. Very nice.
Bilovich again. Here's this Kate Smith goal that tied things. Ramsden setting it up.
There's the cross. There's the spin away from the keeper. Keeper's confused, comes, doesn't get it.
Ali tried her best. Landry Ali, you see number 27 here for Auburn, just ran out of real estate. There you see Kate.
And they'll be using that one for coaching purposes, and probably be a good lesson for later on in the season.
Down in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. One shot on goal, and that was one that found the back of the net. Under 10 minutes left in the first half. What have you seen in the first, 36 minutes of this one?
I've seen character from Ole Miss, and to go a goal down like they did. And, I mean, that could have been all she wrote tonight. I mean, then we're talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 goals, you know, but they didn't. They did not fold. They've been resolute. They've kept their form. And to be very frank, they're forcing Auburn right now into making mistakes with that last ball coming up through the midfield. Auburn's making the long pass. They're a little bit sort of disjointed. The ball's going to Bilovich a lot with nobody on the end of it. And it may be that I'm not saying it will be for the rest of the game, but I think Ole Miss have worked so hard that they've got Auburn a little bit rattled at the moment.
Yapo will set things up. We've been talking a lot about Sydney Obilovich. She's ranked in the SEC in several categories. So this play that we've seen out of Obilovich is not surprising us.
Yeah, these are just long balls being hit through and sort of hoping that they'll thread the needle through the Ole Miss defense, through the back four. Which is possible that one of them will. What I would suggest at half-time for Ole Miss is to say, well, okay, if you're going to move your back four up towards the halfway line, be very careful you don't come too far, because then you've got more real estate for the ball to be hit over the top and people run on through behind you.
Coming in for the Rebels, number 23, Emerson Andrews. And number 28, Sydney Torres.
Of course, no stoppage time in the college game. Clock continues to run.
Very strange, but let's move on.
Well, I haven't even asked about the handball.
Oh, don't. Let's not go there.
Okay, all right.
I've been railing about handballs because of some of the things we've seen recently in the game, in the women's game, in the NCAA game. But now's not probably the time.
Okay, that's fair enough.
We've only got 7 minutes till half time.
He might need more than 7, is what you're saying? He's got a monologue, folks.
Well, it's just a question of what. How does someone say what when your hands are in a natural position?
Right.
My hands are in a natural position when they're on the end of my arms. That's as far as I can tell you.
Here's Caldwell. Ava Caldwell came in for Fleury, and she sends one right to Obilovich.
I watched the game this afternoon. It was Arsenal versus West Ham United, women's soccer in the UK, and they're talking about the same thing.
Obilovich already with 5 saves. She did give up that early goal.
So where are hands when they're in a natural position? We may need to talk about that later in the game. But
okay.
See if anything happens tonight.
This is Chisholm, number 4 there. Taylor Chisholm, the transfer from NC State. She's a senior from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Auburn.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times tonight for Auburn. They sort of go a little too soon, get themselves in an offside position before the ball is played forward. I don't think there's been an offside call against Ole Miss yet.
I don't think so, no. Of course, offside, I mean, one of the more complicated possibly and controversial calls in soccer.
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, they've tried not having it. They've tried putting an offside line down halfway through the field. It prevents strikers from just hanging out in front of the goal and just sitting there waiting. And so it has a real purpose in the game.
It's Diaz, number 16. Rebels on the attack, keeping it in the box. Diaz sends it back out to Ursig.
Ole Miss must not get caught on the break, that's the thing. Because Auburn is so fast on the break. Look at number 11 down here on this left-hand side for Auburn.
Yeah, it's Margie Brown. Yes. Transfer from Duquesne.
There she is.
And yet another corner kick coming up.
I think it's a throw-in, Will.
Oh, the throw-in, I beg your pardon.
Yep.
For the War Eagles.
Yep.
Auburn 5-1 edge on Ole Miss with those corner kicks. That's Chisholm with the left foot. Hooked it.
Really important for Coach Rouse now to close up shop and not make any mistakes between halftime and then go in. They can't concede another goal before the break. Let's just put it that way. Neither team can.
Three and a half minutes left. Where are your eyes going to be focused these last 3.5 minutes?
I'm just watching for dark blue shirts breaking through the back of the Ole Miss defense, because I think the pressure is going to come from Auburn now right up until halftime. Because I think they're really pushing for a second goal before the break. Sorry, Will.
No, that's okay. Casajuana, that's number 14, the midfielder from Barcelona, Spain. Involved a moment or so ago. That's Ursig tumbling.
A little bit of pushing and pulling from both players. The referee decided to let it go, which is fine as long as she keeps the game under control. Yes. Ole Miss was really struggling to keep possession there, and it was only a matter of time before they gave the ball away or gave a free kick away, and it's the latter. And it looks like this one's going to get pumped right into the box.
Thorell is in, number 18 for Ole Miss. Out of France, 5'3" freshman. This is Chisholm. Into the box.
Offside again.
Offsides, yes.
Offside, Auburn.
Rebel is down. I think that's Trejo. Yeah. Trejo, the midfielder. Well, what a career she had at Northwest Mississippi Community College. Appeared in 42 matches, 33 starts in 2 seasons at Northwest. She tallied a couple goals, 3 assists. We mentioned that she's from Memphis, actually played at White Station High School, and there you see pretty good records, huh? 21-2 and running the table at 22-0, back-to-back MAC-CC titles, and then the national title, NJCAA Division II last year.
Everybody's holding their breath because of injuries that have happened this season to key players for Ole Miss. And
well, I mean, when I was asking Molly Rouse earlier this week about how the team is trending, she said that she right away talked about the bad luck with all the injuries. I mean, they're without Sarah Grano tonight, a key player for this Ole Miss Rebel squad.
And they need that number 31 back out on the field. Just maybe take a little breather over halftime. And
there's Grano right there. And, of course, Lauren Montgomery, first match of the year, got hurt. Tough weight. I mean, starting your senior year. Let's look at this injury once again and get your take on it, Ian.
It looks like a shoulder into the shoulder blade. An elbow into the shoulder blade, which would be of some of the things that we've seen this season, that wouldn't be too catastrophic.
Howarth is in, midfielder from Preston, England.
That is onside.
Here's Serdaw. And a nice job blocking Ava Caldwell's shot.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Under a minute left here in the first half. Auburn on the attack. Reset for a moment.
And for the time being, Will, that is a huge let-off for Ole Miss, because there was what we just discussed. The back four comes up too high, the ball gets hit over the top, and you've got to play a free one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Very fortunate for Ole Miss and bad luck for Auburn, frankly.
Don't forget, at halftime, Jake Armato will have a walk and talk with Allison Kolsky, junior out of Mesquite, Texas, transfer from Mississippi State. She played down at State for Auburn's head coach. As we count down the first half. And we'll go in 1-1. What do you think, partner? Let's take a look at the series history. This is kind of crazy, folks. Ole Miss leads the series 14-13-5. First SEC opener matchup, though, in 16 years. Armstrong, he owned Ole Miss when he was at Mississippi State. 5-1-1. In fact, I think he won the last five matches against the rivals. And I asked him, I said, what was that? I mean, did you have a magic wand? And if so, did you bring the magic wand down to Auburn? He talked about how comfortable he was. Obviously, he gave credit to the players. And Jim Holder, our producer, has just told us it's gone final. And Mississippi State has just upset the #1 ranked team in the country, Tennessee, 3-2.
And that's why I love this game, because there are so many occasions where the underdog comes out on top, and you just never know going into any game who's going to win. It's so much fun.
That's why you play the game, right?
Yes, indeed.
That is something. Tennessee, I mean, #1 ranked team in the country, and Coach Armstrong obviously turned that program around, and it's still going strong. By the way, in case you're wondering, Ole Miss will be at Mississippi State on the 2nd of October this year, as that rivalry will get renewed, this time in Starkville. All right, here we go. We're starting the second half, tied at 1.
And with fear and trepidation, I think Tennessee's going to be here at some point too, right?
My goodness. Yeah, we'll be back together, Ian, with when Tennessee comes calling here to Ole Miss on October 5th. That'll be the game after Ole Miss plays State.
I may bring my crash helmet to that game.
It'll be a Sunday afternoon match here at the pitch. So let's get your thoughts on what you're looking for here in half number 2.
Well, the way that Ole Miss managed to manage the game, they managed that first half very well indeed. I'm looking for them to maintain that, but I also know that there's enough talent on the Auburn team to be able to break it down. So it's really just another cat and mouse half. I just want to see how it turns out, and probably more goals for the fans too.
There you go, and you saw what was at stake. Auburn looking for its first win here in Oxford in 14 years. That's remarkable. And the Rebels have a four-match winning streak on the line here coming in to this SEC opener against Auburn.
And the other thing, I think concentration will, particularly from Ole Miss, because they're going to have to concentrate all the way up to the end of this game, 90 minutes worth, and just a little lapse in concentration can cost you.
Rebels with just 2 shots in that whole first half. Brooklyn Marn, we talked about that early on in the first minute and a half or so, went wide. Let's see what Auburn can do here. That kick is wide. And then, of course, the other one was the goal by Kate Smith. And on the other side, 12 shots on goal. I should say 12 shots. 6 of those were on goal. And Grace Ivy, who has the goal, boy, she's been super aggressive, hasn't she? 5 shots. 3 of them have been on goal, including the one she hit to the back of the net.
Yeah, she was really dangerous in that first half and will continue to be that way.
Mm-hmm. You know, we come in talking about Fleury and obviously Driver and all, but it was Ivy that's taken more shots than anybody on the field so far here tonight. See if the Rebels will look toward Ramsden. Tied for 9th in the SEC in goals per game. She leads the team with 3. In fact, she scored in 3 of the last 5 matches.
Yeah, just an observation there was Ole Miss was coming through over the halfway line. There were only 3 people that she had the opportunity to pass the ball to, and all 3 of them were running away from her. And so in the end, there was no option. And so that's a little bit concerning, because it seems like as Ole Miss breaks, what you want are players that are coming towards you, finding space, spinning off their markers, making sprinting moves into space, so you've got options to pass the ball. She didn't have any options there. That is a bit of a concern. That's a red flag for me at the moment.
Of course, one stat that we don't talk about a whole lot, but Auburn has 5 offsides. Ole Miss has yet to have an offside.
That's right. And while you might criticize that, saying they're going too early, this, that, and the other, and they're getting caught offside, they're getting players deep into striking positions, even just to have offside decisions against them. Ole Miss not doing that yet.
That was Ivy right there, number 10, that sent it backwards. Fleury, who had a rest for the last 7-8 minutes or so of the first half. Ava Caldwell came in. She, of course, is back in. Fleury on that far side, and they were looking for her, but a little too much of a lead. And Ole Miss sends it
Blinko decides to go for safety.
Yep.
Buy a bit more time, get players behind the ball.
Blinko started all 19 games last year. She played the full 90 minutes in 13 matches. She had a team high, better than 1,500 minutes logged. And I believe this year, Jim Holder, our producer, was telling us that she's got 14. Matt, well, I should say, check that. No, that was last year when she had all those matches played in the full 90 minutes, but she can log some minutes.
Significantly, Flurry's out there again and wins a corner, putting the Ole Miss defense under the pressure again to the test.
Up in the air, the header. Tigers keep it inside the box. Good battle there. And the Rebels clear it.
Brings it back.
Foul, Auburn.
A foul on the Tigers.
Grace Smith doing a good job in the back four there, alongside Blinko. If it's down this right side, it's Smith. If it's down the left side, Blinko seems to be taking care of things. And so far they seem to be working very well as a team in the middle of the back four.
Molly Rouse was telling us she just loves how super gritty this team is.
Good.
I mean, they didn't really have a lot of high-quality minutes against Louisiana last time out, but they found a way to win, and Martin hit the back of the net.
Yep.
There you see the third-year head coach, Molly Rouse. She said some keys tonight when we were talking with her earlier in the week, is they have to be super organized defensively. They got to be aggressive in their press. She made no bones about it that Auburn has some special players. And here's Auburn on the attack. Trying to manufacture a shot was Driver, but the Rebels clear it. That's Brooklyn Marr, number 8.
And that's okay for Marr. She didn't have anybody to give the ball to, so she just knocked it out wide, and it was a bit of a hit and hope pass, but there were players coming in to help, and it turned it into a 50-50, and the ball's still in the Auburn half. So
Marn has had 5 shots this year. 4 of them have been on goal. She's tied for second with 4 shots on goal. How about that percentage?
That's right.
Most of her shots are going to be on goal.
That's the way to do it.
Except that one that she had early in the first minute or so of the match tonight where she just kicked it just wide.
Other things I'm seeing that I wasn't expecting to see are tonight. Auburn seemed to be hitting a lot of balls out wide in sort of long and hopeful fashion, and there's nobody out there at the end of it. That wasn't what I saw when I saw them playing on the television against Florida Gulf Coast. I didn't see that. I mean, they were hitting penetrating balls along the ground and splitting the defense, and they were much more penetrative than they are tonight.
You give credit to Ole Miss's defense.
Played. Referee,
well
played.
We go.
We're going to see a yellow card, I think, here.
I was just getting ready to ask you that we haven't had a yellow card yet tonight.
There's the first one.
And there's the first one.
That shows that Auburn's a little concerned about their opposition here, and that they have to resort to holding them back on the halfway line. You'll see the hold in just a second. There it is. That's a concerned player. Taylor Chisholm is a little worried right there.
The senior from Wilmington, North Carolina, one of the defenders for Auburn. And Samantha Martinez, the center referee, saw it, called it. There's Chisholm. Mixing it up with Ursig, number 4 for Ole Miss on that particular play. All right, here's Keeney, 32.
Just couldn't quite knock it over the top. Well dealt with by Auburn. Yeah, really running into a wall there. Unfortunately, no way through.
So what's the remedy for Ole Miss? How are they able to, or how are they going to be able to get some more shots?
Well, they've got the conundrum for them is what Coach Rouse is trying to do to Auburn, which is to make, I mean, they're coming up a defense against a defense which is well marshaled. Look, they're 3 in a row there. So breaking that defense down, Will, is how creative can Ole Miss be to do that.
Ersic for Ole Miss on that far side, trying desperately to make something happen. There you see the shots on goal and the goals this year. Bilovich sends this one out of bounds. 57 shots on goal already this year for Auburn.
I don't know if Bilovich meant to do that, but it was very sporting if she did, and the referee didn't. The referee's not paying any attention.
That's Fleury right there. Yep. She is limping profusely there.
That is very strange. Fleury actually, maybe that's a little experience that maybe she needs to gain, is to stay down.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not fit to carry on, there was all ball, but it caught her calf muscle by the look of it. But if you're not ready to continue, stay down.
She is the real deal. Tied for the SEC lead. We talked about it earlier. 4th in the NCAA with 7 goals. She averages 1 goal per game, which leads the SEC and is 7th nationally.
Yeah, not many people can do 1 goal a game.
1 goal a game.
No.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
You think she's got a terrific future?
I do. I think we're going to hear a lot from the professional game from her if she chooses to go that way. If she continues to improve, and she's got great coaching, she's got great diet, she's got great discipline at the university NCAA type of game. It's a great way to come up.
Coach Armstrong agreed. I mean, he knows that her dream is to play pro soccer. He really liked and he emphasized that he never has to walk on eggshells around her. And these days, that shot is high over the bar. And we're going to have
That's a good try.
Yep. But that's not the case these days in college athletics. Got to be careful because all they have to do is punch that button. I'm going into the portal.
Yeah, that's right. But the other thing is, be careful what you wish for, because I was watching a player this afternoon, Alyssa Russo, playing for Arsenal, and she learned her game. Where do you think she learned her game? North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so people keep coming over to North America, women particularly in the women's game, getting great coaching, great experience.
Auburn off the cross. Fleury just couldn't get to it. Oh, that one hit the bar. Boy, Auburn's knocking on the door.
You got to get another coat of paint on that post now for the next game. Make it a bit thicker.
Yeah, that was doinked.
That was hit. That was on the side of the post. That just lashed against the side of the post.
Kabam.
Yep, off it goes. Well, no problem for Bilovich. It's like use all of the equipment that you've got to your disposal.
Nothing wrong with that. She has the only 5 saves in this match. Not even a save yet for Yapo. Just 2 shots. Checked out, I think Ole Miss now with 3 shots. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Dylan Driver's starting to come into the game for Auburn a little bit more.
Tied for the SEC lead, coming in with 5. She takes the lead now with that assist. Of course, we don't know what the other ladies are doing tonight in the SEC when it comes to scoring. She has 1 goal this season and has 6 career goals, by the way, Ian. Driver right there at the front of that offense for Auburn. And Coach was telling us that she works extremely hard.
Yes.
And she just missed, just barely on some opportunities earlier this year to put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, she's going to score more goals this season. There's no question about that. She put 1 in the net in the last game that she played.
The one that you watched?
Yeah,
in its entirety. You were.
Yeah.
That was funny. You were going to watch this young lady, Fleury, who has it right now. watch her for a few minutes. You end up watching the whole 90 minutes. And there's Flurry, but that's Obilovich. Take a bow, Sydney Obilovich. That was a heck of a save.
That is exactly how Flurry scored one of her goals against Florida Gulf Coast. That's exactly how she scored. She gets the ball on the left-hand side of the box, spins, turns her marker, and then bends it with her right foot into the top right-hand corner. Just mistimed that one a little bit. So she spins now, she comes back, she gets it on her right. She didn't quite get it high enough or far enough into that top corner, and well read by the goalkeeper.
Flurry, what a skill set she has. She's no nonsense either, Coach says.
No.
Just a sponge every day, just soaking it up. Anything that she can to get better.
Substitutions for Ole Miss. Number 3, Kate Smith. Number 5, Evie Ewing.
Kate Smith
Number
in.
9, Brianna Rodriguez.
Also, Tenbrink is in as well for Ole Miss.
Number 20, Marika Tenbrink.
We saw Marika Tenbrink in the first half.
This looked like some force has sucked all the players over onto that far side of the field. There's nobody over in this side.
That was Aaron Houston, number 28. And now Kolsky, who is on our halftime report, that walk and talk with Jake, sent it back to Obilovich. Came in with 17 saves. She's got
That's okay,
6 more tonight.
Ole Miss fans didn't like the way that the jump went through.
There's Houston again. She's got a special gear. Every Saturday, Marty and McGee and the SEC Nation get you ready for football with SEC game previews and the latest news from around the conference. Tomorrow morning, they'll be at LSU in Death Valley starting at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Both shows are right here on the SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Boy, there's some terrific games tomorrow in the SEC. American football we're talking about here, Ian.
I don't doubt it. And
including here on campus.
I understand. And
Flurry sends this one high. The Rebs and the Razorbacks.
I hope the weather is fine for everybody so they can get out and have a good day.
Yes.
And spare a thought, would you, for Leicester playing at Oxford tomorrow? Not in the Premier League anymore. Will got relegated. Have to deal with it.
I hear you.
No
Somebody's
problem.
got to.
No problem. We've been there before. We can do it again.
I know you can. 19 shots now for for Auburn against Ole Miss. Just 3 for the Rebels, but the numbers that count 1-1.
That's
okay. What do you think, Ian?
I think the assistant referee made a mistake, and he's human. The fans aren't going to. No. They won't acknowledge the humanity of the decision. That's okay.
That's Kolsky that's set to throw it in. Ramsden, the leading scorer for Ole Miss, was involved. Did not get an assist on that goal, though, by Kate Smith. Even though she set it up nicely.
Did she not get an assist on that?
No, that's what I couldn't believe.
That was an assist, all right.
I thought it was.
There's a corner to Ole Miss.
Yep. Got one coming up for the Rebels with 25 minutes and some change left.
I don't think we've seen the last goal tonight, do you?
No. I think there's still some meat left on the bone, and I think there's going to be another one that will find the back of the net. And here's the one that Kate Smith had scored the Rebel goal in the first half with the corner. That's a nice corner kick.
It was a good corner kick, you're right.
And the Rebels will reset. because Ewing trying to chase it down on that far side.
Well, I don't know where the berm has gone tonight. We've always had all the games this season. There's always been a crowd behind the goal.
Mm-hmm. We got a few there tonight, but
must be a party somewhere or something. I don't know.
Now it's a Friday night and it's a football game weekend. That's probably the problem. I would think that's probably correct.
Because that's what the crowd can, as you know, Texas A&M, the 12th man, all that kind of good stuff. The crowd makes a huge difference.
Oh, significant. I know Lane Kiffin's hoping for a crowd tomorrow night. Once again, American football against Arkansas.
Yeah, and he'll get it, I'm sure. But it's a bit spotty behind the goal tonight. Been good to have seen some more people out there, probably. But
I know the young ladies probably would agree and hopeful of that. Still a pretty good crowd on a Friday night, opening night of the Southeastern Conference. Well, I guess they had 2 games last night, so I guess it's opening weekend, I should say. Here come the Tigers, and guess who? Fleury leading the charge.
That's going to be
she got upended.
A yellow card right there.
Yep. So after having no yellow cards in the first half, we've had a couple of them, one on each team.
So some people might be asking, why is that not a red card? Well, that's not a red card because there were defenders around. That's not denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. It was a very cynical foul, of course, and it did what was it intended, which was to stop the player, which is why she got the yellow, but doesn't meet the high bar for a red card.
Grace Smith, the 5'8" sophomore from Cypress, Texas, whistled for that yellow card for some unsporty play.
Yep. But still a dangerous place for a free kick.
And Obilovich knocks it away.
She decided not to hold it. I think it's been a good game from Martinez tonight. She's done well so far. She's got a way to go, but
are you ready to give her a report card, or are you going to give her a grade, or what are we just kind of talking generality here?
I think that soccer players always like to see good refereeing, and she has not been. She's refereed the game. She's well under control. She hasn't dominated it, and we don't notice her very much, which is good refereeing.
There you go. 100% behind that statement. Here's a corner kick, yet another for Auburn. And the header by Fleury, but there is Obilovich. All right, let's send it down to Laurel. She's got more on Obilovich.
Sydney Obilovich, I'd say a lot of these saves are coming from just her experience in collegiate athletics. Obviously, she's a 6-year senior, and I talked to her about why she picked Ole Miss of all the places she had been, and she said she really loved that there was an experienced coaching staff here at Ole Miss. Obviously, Rob Thompson has incredible pedigree with goalkeepers, and she loved Coach Molly, and she just said she really found that Ole Miss fit all of her boxes. And when I asked her about that one more year of playing, she said she knew she'd regret it if she didn't, and she knew she'd want to put on a jersey again one day, and she didn't want it to be the last time last year.
Thank you, Laurel. Yeah, and she has put on a show here tonight, folks, and she's not feeling 100% either.
No.
But, you know, with an SEC opener, you knew she was going to be there in the net.
She's done a good job tonight.
Rebel went to the field. I think that was Kate Smith.
And I would second what Laurel was saying about Rob Thompson. When this guy's amazingly modest. When you realise that Rob's played at Anfield, and I think he might have played at Old Trafford as well, Manchester United and Liverpool. So it's all good.
Let's send it down to Laurel. She's got more on the officiating.
There has certainly been a lot of talk about the issue. Right, to the point that at the very beginning of the match, an Auburn assistant coach walked over to this official over here and said, we've really got to have this one official focusing more. This is a very, very important match. And you can tell both coaches are spending the night back and forth in the officials' ears with that in mind.
Nice observation. Appreciate that, Laurel. Ramsden is back in. All right. She's rested. Let's see if she's going to make a play for Ole Miss and give the Rebels the lead here in the second half. Yeah, Rob Thompson, 16th season as an assistant here at Ole Miss, his 11th as an associate head coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach, good goalkeeping coach, good goalkeeper.
Good guy.
Yeah, he is.
I always enjoy visiting with Rob Thompson.
What I would say, if the Auburn coaches are uncomfortable with whether it's a centre official or whether it's I can't imagine it's the assistants, but I'd be interested to know, with an open mind, what it is that they're concerned about.
Oh, Pilovich again with the denial.
Wow, what a great save.
What a night she's having.
She's all over the place, and that's usually that's not usually a compliment. That's actually meant as a compliment. She has been everywhere.
Played at Texas Tech last couple of years. She made 4 appearances and 2 starts last season. Previously played at Portland State in 21-22, where she made 22 starts, had over 120 saves, and was at New Mexico in 2020, but didn't see any action. That's a heck of a timeline right there.
Yes.
All right, here another corner kick for Auburn. And the header is wide.
Yeah, the corners are coming in, Will, and they're getting onto to Auburn heads.
Mm-hmm.
But either the run-up hasn't been sufficient to get power behind the header, and the header sort of just floats into the goalkeeper's hands, or it skins off and it goes out for a goal kick. But they are putting the pressure on Ole Miss, no question. No sooner the ball gets knocked out than it's coming back again.
That was Serda, Layla Serda, number 9, transfer from Indiana, from Duluth, Georgia.
So now the referee does have a series of challenges ahead of her, because the game is starting to get a little bit dominated, shall we say, by fouls.
Mm-hmm.
And how does she exert her authority or assume authority on the game without being overly vocal, just too much refereeing? When is it appropriate for a yellow, another yellow perhaps? We'll have to see how she handles it, because it's warming up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely getting chippy. That one sails way over the bar. Well, you're a longtime referee. How does she do it?
She just has to be just turn it gradually.
Gradually. Okay.
Don't panic. Don't start remonstrating. Just quietly assert yourself. Go and have a quiet word with the player if you need to. Don't shout at players from 15 yards away. Nobody likes that. And she hasn't done that yet, and then all credit to her.
All right, here come the Rebels. Rebels play it safe.
See, you start to feel the pressure that both teams feel under, because ordinarily in a game you just knock that back to your goalkeeper.
Right.
But in this case, it's over the over Highway 6, just behind us.
And you can tell. Look at James Armstrong. He's kind of sensing something, I think, that he is trying to knock down that door.
Well, he does not want to go here tonight with a point, with 1-1. That's no good to him. He needs to win this game, and so he's starting to turn it up, turn the pressure up with his players.
Molly Rouse was talking about, obviously, Auburn going to be tough. And she was concerned about Fleury, one of the very good players that they will play this year. She capitalizes on her time and space.
Yes.
And there you see Molly Rouse. Talked about also, can we win the ball? That was going to be a key. She was going to challenge her team. What kind of grade have they been winning some of the?
I think they've done a very good job.
Yes.
Because this is a talented group of players from Auburn.
Laurel has more on that team identity we were talking about with Molly Rouse.
Yeah, this even score right now really echoes a lot of things that Coach Rouse has wanted to see out of this team. She said, we're gritty and we want to make the game hard. And interestingly, that's something that Auburn's Coach Armstrong noticed about them in sort of preparing to play the match today. And Coach Rouse said that's a team that seen them consistently in many years since she's been here. So she's liking this from them.
All right, thank you, Laurel. Molly Rouse talking about Phase 3 starting tonight. Of course, you had Phase 1 was the preseason exhibitions and all that. Then Phase 2 in the schedule was all the non-conference. Felt like she competed very well with a very good Memphis team. Learned a lot. And here's Auburn. Auburn trying with, Obilovich again. This time climbing the ladder. Knocking it away.
She kept her eye on that ball all the way.
Looks like she's hurt too. Obilovich is hurting. And there you see her. And that's not what Ole Miss fans want to see.
No, it is not. She came, she was so brave. She just kept her eye on the ball and she got a knock on the way down. And
look at Molly Rouse looking, looks like maybe a cramp. Yeah, Bilovich, the senior from Portland.
Seems a little slow. If we're getting, are we inviting somebody out there to see what's up or what?
Marika Tenbrink, one of the defenders, helping her out.
Yeah,
look at that night at the office. How about 9 saves? Gave up that goal early on, but since then, I mean, it's been a wall. Here's Prigge right there. Taylor Prigge warming up just in case. Yeah, sophomore from Queen Creek, Arizona. Bilovich is going to stay in. You see Prigge has had limited action. Here's a couple looks.
Let's see if we can see what happened here.
Right away, ow. You saw her with a hard time getting up.
Well,
yep. Auburn with a terrific chance, but Obilovich again with the save. That shot was by Osha Means.
Yeah, it was a great shot, and it stuck. I mean, that was the thing, because you notice that there are blue shirts coming in to pick up the scraps. If that ball bounces off Obilovich and she doesn't handle it, she spills it, then it's 2-1. So all credit to her. That ball she just hung on to that for dear life.
Means, the fifth-year defender, started every match this year. She's a transfer from the NCAA champion, North Carolina Tar Heels, a year ago, where she scored her only career goal last season. Her dad is a former North Carolina and NFL running back, Natron Means, who is now a running backs coach at his alma mater there at North Carolina for Coach Belichick. But she transfers from North Carolina, even with all that history there with the Tar Heels. Trying to make something happen tonight for Auburn and her new team.
Well, it's possible she felt like she'd get more minutes playing for Auburn than she would at North Carolina.
Coach Armstrong happy with her decision.
North Carolina, of course, one of the best women's teams in the nation. Have been for years.
There you see Means right there. And we talked about, look at her dad. How'd you like to tackle him? And there you see part of the national championship team. Look at the family.
Yeah.
Brother's a freshman wide receiver there at Hampton. Talk about some family genes. Means right there making a play defensively. Rebels will have the throw in. That's Kolsky. Just over 12 minutes left.
Goal kick, Auburn.
This is definitely a dinged-up Ole Miss squad. A lot of injuries they've been battling through, but they're hanging with Auburn tonight and Coach Armstrong. And he's talking with his assistants. They're trying to figure out an equation.
Yes.
To break this tie.
You know, there are some times you get in a game and you just realize that, you know, we could stay here for 3 weeks and we're never going to score, you know. I'm not saying that that's how it is tonight, because this Auburn team still look very dangerous on the break. And not just on the break, but they've pressured and they've sort of huffed and puffed, and what they found at the end of it is Obilovic.
Yeah. That's not much light at the end of the tunnel when you're trying to get one past Obilovic.
But this is where the concentration part of it comes in, Will. We got 10 minutes to go, just a little more, 11 and a half minutes or so. And that's where you just cannot let your concentration drop, either team.
There's Kolsky, the junior defender, played in 5 matches last year at Mississippi State. Wow. Ursig showing off her skill set.
I almost fell off my chair.
Yeah.
Well, referee, I think there may have been something there, but she chose not to give anything.
Rebel fans and even some of the Rebels were expecting something. Yapo.
Yeah, and the psychological pressure on the referee as well at this point. She's thinking about which is the home team, what happens if this happens, what happens if they score. And I know that they're neutral, they know they're neutral, but you're still trying to figure out, where's this goal going to come from? Is there going to be one?
That's interesting, that mindset that you're talking about there. I did not know that. A lot going through their minds.
Yes.
We're talking about the players and the coaches driving the storylines tonight, but
that's right.
That's interesting about the referees. All right, now 10 minutes left. Who can break the code and break this 1-1 tie?
Okay, I don't know what's happening over there on that far side, but something did. There's a yellow card out.
Yes.
It's going to an Auburn player, I think. I can't tell which one. Looks like it might be Fleury.
Well, it's been a very... Yes, it's going to be Fleury.
Yeah.
It's been a physical night. She has received some physicality, and she has obviously dished a little out, and she gets the card.
Yeah, and let's be honest. You can see from her point of view, we've talked about her skills and her tenacity and her just 100% of everything, but then she's had a frustrating night, and maybe that frustration just boiled over a little bit.
Yeah, I think you might have something. Auburn clears.
That is nice play from Ole Miss. Very nice triangles. Trying to play soccer. Sorry, almost said football. On a football weekend.
Yeah, football. 9 minutes left.
But they're trying to play. And be careful, you don't need to pull a shirt, guys.
Foul on Ole Miss.
Rebels get the foul. I think that was on Brooklyn Marn.
And the Rebels fans are upset, but there was a big shirt pull. We all saw it.
Marn came in with the least amount of minutes played among the starters. Came in with 176.
And has done very well tonight as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Just amazed, though, Ian, that we have a 1-1 tie, and Auburn has had 25 shots, and Ole Miss has had 3 shots. And had another shot for the Tigers, and another play by Obilovic.
And I think that what I would say at this point is the way the ball bounces, you might as well go to Tunica, because once it comes down, you just roll the dice and hope it doesn't bounce to a blue sock or a blue boot, or it bounces to a white boot, depending on which team you're rooting for. And so far, the dice have been in favor of Ole Miss.
Rebel fans thought they kind of sensed something there. Ole Miss had something brewing, but Auburn defensively takes care of that, and another whistle.
See, Ole Miss have really got to be, this is coaching at this point. Someone's got to calm them down, because what will happen is the concentration level is now, how can I grab a shirt? How can I grab someone's shorts? When you've got to just do your job, do the basics. Don't get emotional, because that's when Auburn will really hurt you.
I'm telling you, folks, if you don't look at the score,
Rebels, number 16, Peyton Dias.
Dias back in for Ole Miss, and you see one team has 26 shots, the other team has 3. One team has 12 shots on goal, the other one has 1. One goalkeeper has 11 saves, the other doesn't have any, the one that's had 26 shots. 9-2 in corners. I mean, you would think that, man, it's probably a 2-3 goal advantage.
Yeah.
But we're tied at 1. And we've played almost 83 minutes. Well, we have played 83. And Bilovich.
There's another example. Well, I mean, that ball gets knocked out. You've got a clear shot on goal. The ball comes to you. What's going through your mind? Get your knee over the ball. Let's just side foot it into the top corner of the goal. We did that. She did everything right. And it bounces off someone's forehead and goes out for a corner.
I think that was Kolsky, maybe.
And it was good defending, too.
Yes. Well, Bilovich was ready, though. She was already diving in case that did not hit an Ole Miss defender. And there's that discrepancy I was talking about with the corner kicks.
Good jump. Good jump. Taylor Chisholm gets on the end of that one, but she really was on the way down when the ball came off her forehead, but couldn't direct it goal bound.
Look at these. It's incredible. 27 shots now, 13 on goal.
Number 22, Ryan Reynolds.
Bilovich. Just an incredible night. And no game for Ole Miss until the 18th against South Carolina. So
and let's just step back and take a look at the game right now. Which coach is happier? We know that right now a 1-1 score for Auburn is not going to be really what they came here for.
No, Rouse would be the happier.
A 1-1 goal, a 1-1 game for Ole Miss. They're going to go home feeling like they won. Let's be honest, and that's true. And so they've really just got to batten down the hatches and put up with this pressure for another 6 minutes.
Ole Miss leads this series 14-13, and there have been 5 ties. Will there be a tie here tonight?
They're going to drop this ball right in over the keeper again.
Oh, Bilovich again got a hand on it.
She did. So there's an arm, and assistant referee wasn't interested in giving a free kick to Ole Miss there, but no problem.
Auburn has 0 goals after the 80th minute this season. Will they break that trend here tonight? Oh, the center. And the shot just misses. Wow, that was a nifty play.
I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, the net is about to bulge.
Yes.
And ripple, and it doesn't.
Let's look at this again, Ian.
I don't know how far away that was, but I don't know how you even allowed to get a cross through there, actually. But good defending again from Ole Miss, trying to put people under pressure, not giving them any space.
That was number 31 there. That's Jordan Crosby, one of the forwards. Junior from Alpharetta, Georgia. nearly broke the tie. Ewing back in for Ole Miss. She's coming in, was one of the 4 Rebels to find the back of the net this year.
Don't you
Kate
know,
Smith added to that. Now there's 5.
if you're watching the clock from a Auburn standpoint, it's going a whole lot faster than it is for the Ole Miss people watching the clock.
I get that. Here come the Rebels. Ursig was ready to unleash on Yapo.
Lost a shin guard in the process.
The fans applauding the decision.
Was there any sarcasm in the applause?
I think there was some.
Did I detect a little?
I think, yes.
Number 17, Grace.
That was the vibe I got.
Surely not.
You wouldn't think that. Not at a soccer match. All right, there you see Kolsky. We talked about her being a junior defender. This back line has been legit all season long for Ole Miss.
That's what that sums up Ole Miss's performance. Even if they lose a goal tonight and it goes to 2-1, that blocking right there, 2 yards out from the goal line from Auburn, and Ole Miss is out there trying to block, and they're working so hard, and they've just given everything.
They really have, and that's what Molly Rouse was asking. She challenged her team. She knew that they were up against it tonight with a talented Auburn squad, and they have given 100% all night long. And now under 4 minutes left. What's it going to take for someone in these last now 3.5 minutes or so?
It's 3.5 minutes is still a long time. And it could just take pressure. Auburn's pressure has just been
relentless.
Yeah, it's been relentless. And so it's still there, and there's still a possibility that they can break this one open and get a second goal.
That was Woodson who scored a goal last year in the second half in Auburn's 3-0 win. It was scoreless last year in the first half. Auburn scored 3 in the second half to win it. They haven't won here, though, in Oxford since 2011. Under 3 minutes left.
I'm surprised how quiet. I think the crowd's into this. This is so, it's almost silent out there.
Well, because of the tension. I mean, the screws are tightening, folks.
Yep.
You can feel it. And here's another corner kick. Can Auburn take advantage? No. Not with Sydney Obilovich tonight. Oh, what a night.
I think we're going to have to have one of those umpire checks like they do in baseball to make sure that she's got nothing on her gloves. I mean, that was like fly paper.
Got some stickum on there?
I don't know if people even know what fly paper is. But
yeah, I think you lost a section of the audience. Oh. Obilovich. And we weren't even sure if she was going to even play tonight.
No.
The way she was feeling.
Fly paper is very sticky paper that flies used to get stuck on, and so do sometimes FIFA-approved soccer balls, if you're lucky.
All right, under 2 minutes left. Will we have one of these dramatic late goals? Houston's going to try.
There's a corner.
And another corner coming up.
Pressure continues.
I mean, you just hear them all night just knocking on the door.
Yep. Well,
Miss is just not letting them get in the door.
They got just over a minute to find the key.
Yep. Where is that key? James Armstrong is trying to figure it out. Here's yet another corner, and nothing comes of it.
1 minute.
And the Rebels clear it, and we're under a minute left. Still tied at 1. This is Woodson again, and here come the Rebels. Rebels with some advantage. On the far side, just over 30 seconds left.
And don't lose possession, and Ole Miss have lost possession.
Just did it. Oh, here we go. And Obilovich comes way out and sends it away. You said earlier in this half, she's everywhere. She is everywhere. She came way out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
And it's going to end in a 1-1 tie.
That's a
Wow.
great performance from Ole Miss, I've got to say.